Hello, I'm Umar Ora from Tutors.com, and in today's video we are going to learn about natural resources. So the main subtopics which we are going to cover in this video are introduction, air, role of atmosphere in climate control, wind, rain and air pollution. So let's move forward towards the next slide and let's try a few pre-assessment questions. So you can pause the video here, and once you're done with all the questions, you can resume the video to check your answers. Pat your back if all of your answers are correct, and now let's move forward towards the next slide and let's have a quick introduction about today's topic. So life on planet Earth is dependent on many factors like resources available on Earth, energy from the sun, etc. The different resources available on the earth are land, water and air, and all of these three things are required for the existence of life forms. Now let's discuss these four pairs. The first one is lithosphere. Well, this is the solid outermost layer of the earth crust. Let's talk about hydrosphere. So the water that is found on the earth's surface above it as cloud and below it as groundwater is called the hydrosphere. Let's talk about the third one, which is atmosphere. So the air which includes gases that cover the earth like a blanket is called atmosphere. And then the last one, which is biosphere. So the region on earth comprising of both biotic and abiotic components is called biosphere. So biotic components include all the living organisms, and abiotic components includes everything which is non-living. So let's move forward and let's differentiate between biotic and abiotic. So biotic means resources which have life, and abiotic means resources which don't have any life. You can classify biotic among producer, composer and decomposer, and you can classify abiotic into renewable and non-renewable sources. Now let's move forward towards the next subtopic, which is air. So as we know that air is a mixture of gases like nitrogen, oxygen and water vapor. And without air we would not be able to breathe, and thus no life would exist on the earth. So let's have a quick discussion about these gases. If we talk about nitrogen, which is 78%, that is used to produce number of organic molecules like proteins, and nitrogen is fixed in plants and is transferred to animals through food chain. Now let's talk about oxygen. So that is used by plants and animals in the process of respiration. Let's talk about the third one, which is carbon dioxide. So this is used by plants in the process of photosynthesis, and marine animals absorb atmospheric carbon dioxide to form carbonic acid, and these carbonate ions are used by marine animals to make shells. So this was all about air. Let's move forward and let's talk about role of atmosphere in climate control. So as we know that atmosphere covers the earth like a blanket, we know that air is a bad conductor of heat, and the atmosphere keeps the average temperature of the earth fairly steady during the day and even during the course of the whole year. The atmosphere prevents the sudden increase in temperature during the daylight hours, and during the night it slows down the escape of heat into outer space. Well, if we talk about moon, it has no atmosphere because its temperature ranges from negative 190 degrees Celsius to positive 110 degrees Celsius. Let's move forward. Well, if we talk about wind, we can say that it is the result of changes that take place in our atmosphere due to the heating of air and the formation of water vapor. As we know that water vapor is formed due to the heating of water bodies and the activities of living organisms. The rise in temperature creates a low pressure zone which attracts cool air from high pressure zone and pushes up the hot air, and thus the atmosphere can be heated from below by the radiation that is reflected back. On being heated, convection currents are set up in the air. So this is how wind is formed. Let's move forward and let's talk about rain. So when water bodies are heated during the day, a large amount of water evaporates and goes into the air. Some amount of water vapor also gets into the atmosphere because of various biological activities, and this air is also gets heated. So the hot air rises up carrying the water vapor in it. As the air rises, it expands and cools. And this cooling causes the water vapor in the air to condense in the form of tiny droplets. So once the water droplets are formed, they grow bigger by the process called condensation. When the drops have grown big and heavy, they fall down in the form of rain. Let's move forward and let's talk about air pollution. So air pollution is the release of such gases and particles in the air that can harm organisms and affect our climate. So let's discuss the main causes of air pollution. The first one is burning of fossil fuels. So pollution emitting from vehicles including trucks, jeeps, car, they cause immense amount of pollution. The next one is mining operations. So mining is a process wherein minerals below the earth are extracted using large equipments. And during this process, dust and chemicals are released in the air, causing massive air pollution. The next one is agriculture activities. So ammonia is a very common byproduct from agriculture related activities, and it is one of the most hazardous gases in the atmosphere planet. So this was all about air pollution, and on the next slide here are few questions for you to practice. You can pause the video and try the given questions, and once you're done with all the questions, you can resume the video to check your answers. Congratulations if all of your answers are correct, and thank you for watching this video. For more, please visit justtutors.com.